Welcome to Synthaholic Games. Here's your host, David, and with me is always
Other host, Brian. We talk about video games and things we think were interesting. We don't report the news. We don't claim to report the news. We just report things that we think are cool.
or just
Hi, David.
or just consistently tragic.
Yeah. We were talking previously, or not? Obviously, we were talking previously. We were talking before we started this whole thing today, and these layoffs that we keep getting. We'll get into that. But like David's getting a kick out of like every time we do this. It's like there's more Microsoft layoffs,
And hence my
and
beautiful,
it's like thousands. But we'll get to it. David, lead us off here. What do we got?
hence my beautiful green background.
I don't know if I would say beautiful. It does have an Xbox logo on it.
Oh yeah, that does tarnish the background a lot.
Tarnished. If you get rid of the Xbox logo, 10 out of 10 background.
10 out of 10.
But the Xbox logo's there, so we got to bump it down.
We gotta bump it down to like a -1. Yeah, it's a -1
something
background.
like that.
That's pretty bad. Pretty bad. I'm sorry. So anyway, first article Brian sent over was Shigeru Miyamoto shares why Nintendo would rather go in a different direction from AI. Brian, tell us about.
I'll cover this one real quick. So, David, Nintendo, I've brought this up to you. I brought this up in the podcast. Nintendo's been on a streak of hitting W's, wins. They haven't made many mistakes because they've been silent for pretty much the most of the year. And I'm still on board with, Miyamoto, even though he's got questionable things what happened with Star Fox. If you don't know, I guess you don't know, and I'm not going to explain it, but maybe I will someday. But they don't want to use AI.
Well, he wears his Star Fox butt plug around.
I don't know, man. Maybe he wasn't the nicest guy maybe he kind of stole something. I don't know. He might have stole some ideas and stuff and then took it as his own. I don't know. Maybe that's what he did. But Nintendo's still standing strong that they don't want to use AI, which I think is a win just across the board. I'm sure you agree that you'd rather have actual artists make stuff rather than AI make stuff. Maybe use AI as what?
Hey, Nintendo makes cheap copies of their own stuff. They don't need AI to do it for them.
That's a damn true statement right there, sir. That's a damn true statement. But overall, I would rather have no AI than AI in video game making because AI makes it feel fake. And it doesn't even matter. I don't know. To me, if something's made with AI and I know it's made with AI, I feel like I'm just going to like it less even though it might be good. Because I know it doesn't have that human element to it.
Maybe everything Nintendo's made has already been AI, which is why it's all the same.
Oh no, I don't know how to handle that statement. I don't know what to do with that.
All they do, let's do a Mario game. Let's do a Mario Party game. Let's do a Mario Golf game. Let's do a Mario Tennis game. Let's do a Zelda.
Hey, I'm not saying Nintendo's not without their flaws. I'm just saying I'd rather have no AI than AI.
I don't know. I still think they'd rather pay their people to make their own cheap knockoff. And let's make another Pokemon game. Let's make it worse this time. Another Pokemon game, but let's make it worse this time.
For anybody listening right now, there's a Pokemon game, trading card game app that's coming out at the end of October. And I want it to come out and I want it to do good. I want to play a card game on my phone. I loved Marvel Snap and now I'm done with that game. Give me the Pokemon game. Maybe this one will be different.
And then Nintendo's like, oh, hey, look, there's Pal World, a game that actually made a Pokemon game that's better than our Pokemon games. Ooh. All right, let's sue them.
Are we, man, was that a transition into the next article?
No, not really. But,
dang. That was slick, man. That was...
I did not have an article in it for Nintendo suing Pal World, but unfortunately, that is what is happening.
Yeah, I want to know your take on this. So I did my deep dive. That's my non-lawyer deep dive, and I read 2 articles and say I'm an expert now. But moving that aside, Nintendo has a lot of weird patents for stuff. I don't know if this is standard throughout all video games. I don't know much about how any of this works, but like Nintendo has patents for like how physics work in a game. You can't have a map on a loading screen is something they have a patent for. They have patents for using a controller to move your character. It's like they have all these like very broad patents on what they can do on a video game. I don't understand that. Like, how can you if you obey all these patents, how can anybody make a video game? If you have a patent on something, are you allowed to just like apply that patent where you want to get rid of that thing? I feel like that should be illegal because there are many games that are like Pal World that are on Steam. There's Koromon, there's Temtem, there's other games that are like this, and Nintendo is just completely stayed away from it. Coromon is pretty much a direct ripoff from what old Pokemon games are, and Nintendo didn't even touch it. I don't know, like they can just apply trouble when they want. I feel that it's either all or nothing to me. I don't know.
I don't think individual elements of a video game mechanically should be copyrightable or patentable.
They have that though. They have them.
I understand that. WB has one on the Nemesis system, which is
for the Lord of the Rings game.
Yeah, the 2 Lord of the Rings games, which is one of the best innovations in gaming probably in the last decade, and no other games are allowed to use it. Hell, they haven't even used it yet. Supposedly there's a Wonder Woman game coming out that'll be using the Nemesis system, which I will probably want to try because I want to play a game with the Nemesis system, as long as it doesn't have microtransactions like Shadow of Mordor.
Well, I wouldn't keep your. I wouldn't.
I don't want to.
I would almost expect microtransactions to be in that. They're gonna give Wonder Woman some skins.
Well, the thing is, I don't want microtransactions to beat the game, like Shadow, like Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah, I couldn't. When
Shadow
that game
of Mordor basically made you buy stuff to beat the game because it was
like
so grindy.
Boost yourself up. The first game was one of the best games I've ever played. I loved that first one. Then the second one came out, and I got so tired of dealing with, like, you would open the game and the microtransaction screen would pop up. You die and the microtransaction screen pops up. It's like I couldn't do it. I got like halfway through and I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Basically, once I started playing the first game, right around when the second game came out, and after hearing about all the microtransaction stuff, I quit playing the first game because I was like, I've got nothing to look forward to with the second game, so I just stopped playing the first game.
Yeah.
So I mean, but the little bit of interaction I did with the Nemesis system, I was super impressed. It's really innovative, and that is copyright patented, and no one else can use that. I'm like,
yeah, I don't understand. I feel like that shouldn't be, like, you shouldn't be allowed to do that. For instance, I know trademarks. When you have trademarks, when you have a
character like Mickey Mouse,
if somebody copies you,
Star Wars,
if I have, like, Nintendo has Mario. If I make Mario and just spinning image of it, Nintendo has to sue me to protect their trademark, because if they don't, they lose it. If you have a trademark on something, you have to always go after, no matter how big or small, you have to go after that. But it doesn't seem like you have to do that with these patents. It seems like they're applying them when they need to apply them.
When they want to, yeah.
Which I feel like that should also, some of the patents that they have, again, are just like, what the heck?
Because one of the patents is throwing balls at things.
Yeah, it's like, sure, there's many games that throw balls at things. And they just get to pick and choose when they do. I hate that, man. I hate it. It kills creativity.
So can they sue baseball, like EA, for making a baseball game because they're throwing a ball?
I don't. You know what? Honestly, I'm sure they can figure out a way.
I mean, it's just like for benign things like throwing a ball, you should not be able to patent.
Yeah, or physics, like game physics. They have a patent on how physics in a game. What? And they've never used that before. Or controlling. They have a patent for controlling a character with a controller. Broad. That's it. That's the whole patent. That's it. If you use a controller, Nintendo has a patent to control that character. That's crazy.
Yeah, it seems really scummy, personally, to me. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It's such a basic part of video games. Like, why would that be ever, like,
I don't know.
Something you could see. I mean,
but that's where I was leading into my, like, Nintendo's been on a streak of not causing trouble, and now they sue Palworld, and now they I don't know why I said it like that, but they that's an L for them. That's a loss. They lost that battle.
They should have just let it be.
The Palworld's popular, and it's popular because Nintendo or Game Freak or whoever the heck, Pokemon Company or whatever, they dropped the ball. Get it? No, that's a pun there. So they dropped the ball. They continued to make garbage Pokemon games, and then a game comes out that's like still kind of janky, but like actually expanded on what a Pokemon game could be, and people were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!"
Yeah, so it's what a Pokemon game should be. Like,
yeah.
Honestly,
I mean, I get you don't need to have like slavery in your Pokemon game, or like, butcher some of your Pokemon. That's fine. You don't have to put that in there, but like just having that open world, build what you want type of thing, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Nintendo, why aren't you building that? Huh? Why you got to make another weird game that's not going to work? I don't know what you're even working on, but whatever it is, I'm sure it's not going to be very good. But it'll make a lot of money because 10-year-olds and addicted 35-year-olds love Pokemon.
Yeah, I guess so. But moving on to our next thing we found interesting. Brian also sent this article. Deadlock is giving players the chance to turn cheaters into frogs as Valve hops onto the issue in a cheeky fashion.
Deadlock is a game that neither you or I have really got into or really understand yet.
But it had a higher player base than Concord, even though the game was an invite.
Well, it would. It's a Valve game on Steam.
But it's an invite. It was an invite-only alpha.
That is true. It was an invite-only alpha.
And Concord was a open
AAA experience.
AAA Sony next Star Wars thing, yeah. And it had like 20 players.
But the gist of the article is, I think this is kind of cool. There are cheaters in video games. We know this. We've all faced against a cheater at some point in our life if we were playing a multiplayer game.
Every single time I play Destiny.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's exceptions to the rule here. But what Valve is doing and what they are implementing is, if you're caught as a cheater, the players within that game can vote to either ban you or turn you into a frog for moving forward in the game. So you no longer can really play the game. You're just a frog if you like load in because you're a cheater, which I thought that's kind of, I like that. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people like that. I think it's cool. It's a different take. You kind of get publicly shamed a little bit, and I think that's kind of funny.
Good on you, Valve. I like that idea too. It's pretty cool.
Valve's killing it, or Steam's killing it, man. Someday, you and me are going to be sitting here talking to each other. I don't know if we'll be on camera. I don't know if we'll be podcasting, but there's going to be a day where I think Steam is going to get like bought by somebody, and there's just going to start putting ads on Steam. Things are going to start just getting worse. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. Hopefully, it doesn't happen in my lifetime, but hopefully we won't have to talk about that.
I mean, we've had so many L's in the video game industry this year.
Yeah.
Can
Valve is like the one shining beacon that has consistently, like, I'm sure they've done wrong. I'm sure nobody's perfect, but like consistently forever, Valve has always been like the leader in like how you should treat people and how you should run things.
Well, I mean, like there's being perfect, and then there's just not majorly effing up. I mean, like,
yeah, there's that too.
They don't have to be perfect. They just don't have to do a major L, which is talking about major L's. Ooh. Check out this. Last time we reported that Microsoft laid off even more people, and now I know Microsoft isn't technically in the title of this, but it should be. Microsoft owns Activision Blizzard, and Activision Blizzard is to lay off hundreds in Irvine and Santa Monica starting next month. So again, Microsoft is laying off more. Like, what? Like, did they?
It's one of the Microsoft is. Like, we say it every time. Microsoft is either the first, second, or third, depending on the week, valuable company on the planet, and they cannot figure out how to stop firing thousands of people every 2 weeks.
Well, they can't. Yeah, just about every 2 weeks. It is insane, but also they don't know how to release any video games.
That's also something they're still working on.
They've bought all these video game companies and they're not releasing anything, or they're not releasing anything good. Starfield, major L. Redfall, major L. Their one major win.
Come up with a third. Keep going.
Their one major win was the Tango Gameworks. What was that game called?
I can't think of it. It's the rhythm game.
The rhythm game, yeah.
You can tell that neither you or I played it.
I've never played it, but it was a major win for them, and they showed us the video. Yeah, I remember the developer.
Now I need to know. We're doing live reporting here.
Live reporting. Yeah. So yeah, that game.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush. That's the one.
Yeah, there we go. We have brain fart on Tango Games, but you knew the developer, not the game.
Yep.
That's
how deep in the woods I am. I'm like, I forgot the name of their game.
Yeah, they got rid of that. They got rid of that one. That's like their 3 games. I'm sure. I don't know. There's probably other games that nobody's played that have come out, but
what else? But I mean,
ReCore.
But I'm trying to think of another game that Microsoft has put out this year. Have they
this year.
have
That
they-
Record did not come out this year.
have they put anything else out this year? I can't think of.
I'm waiting for Fable.
I mean, no, I'm not. I'm kind of waiting for Obsidian's new game, Avowed, but also
Oh, that's supposed to come out this year.
also it didn't look
Doesn't
great.
it? Doesn't
I
that
think
game come out this year?
next late this year, early next year. Don't remember
For some reason, November 24th is jumping out at me. We're gonna do another deep dive.
We're doing it live. Go ahead, Brian. Let us know. But yeah, but
Oh no, it's February 18th. I don't know where I'm getting this November
yeah, I
from.
was thinking early next year. For that.
February 18th.
Oh, February's gonna be hopping with that and Monster Hunter.
Well, one of us might not be able to play Monster Hunter. We'll get to that when we're playing Monster Hunter, or trying to at least.
It won't install, damn it.
It won't install, damn it. It's not working, damn it. Oh man. So yeah, every time we seem to talk about video games, Microsoft seems to have laid off more people.
Well, you see,
Uh,
so by the time we podcast next time, we'll hopefully have a number for how many people were laid off. Because this isn't an actual layoff. This is news that a layoff is going to happen.
Can you imagine working at Activision and you see news that like people are gonna start getting fired at the company you're working? I feel like in my head I would just be like, all right, well I'm done. I'm not gonna do anything now.
Man, I just
And Blizzard canceled their survival game. I don't know if we talked about that at all, but
I don't know if we talked. I mean, we probably talked about it off.
yeah, I don't know if we probably talked about
That
it
was
offline.
months.
But
That was months ago.
yeah, they canceled that survival game that they were so hard working on. I don't know. I saw the screenshots of it. It looked like it was still years away from being out, but I don't know how old those screenshots were. Either way, that's gone. So I don't know what the heck Blizzard's doing now. Does it matter? Do we care? I don't know if we care of what Blizzard's working on. I feel like it doesn't matter. Neither one of us play WoW, so WoW doesn't matter to us. For the people that like WoW, I wish that I got into WoW when you did, because I would love to play a game like that. But it's too far gone for me. I don't care about Overwatch. Who cares about Hearthstone? StarCraft doesn't matter. Call of Duty really doesn't matter. What else do they do?
I mean, StarCraft used to be good, but they don't ever make StarCraft games. They've made.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
made
Like, it
two
doesn't
StarCraft
matter.
games.
Yeah, it doesn't matter for us. Like, I'm not gonna go play that now. They have Diablo. Diablo's pretty popular. I could get controversial on that, but I'm not gonna start that today.
But I didn't. Yeah, I didn't even buy Diablo 4. because
Actually,
of
can I
Xbox.
get controversial? That's not video game related.
Yeah, whatever.
I want to. I want to.
Do it.
Okay, controversial. Okay, I got a controversial thing. This is insane to me that this is somehow a possibility in this man's life. Elon Musk is ranked number 5 in Diablo 4. Did you know that? On their leaderboards, he's number 5. How can you run all these companies and be number 5 in Diablo?
Because he
He's not working.
Because he doesn't do shit.
He's not working, man.
He's a
You can't be ranked 5 in Diablo 4 and still, I don't know. That's my that's something controversial. I don't have anything positive or negative to say. I just want to point that out.
Elon Musk is a moron.
Yeah, we don't have to dive into Elon Musk today, David. We're not going to start a war with anybody.
You brought up Elon Musk.
I just wanted to bring it up. We don't have to talk about it. Listen, anybody who's out there and you want to talk about Elon Musk, talk to David. He likes talking about how he doesn't like Elon Musk. I personally don't care. I have no preference for or against him. He doesn't really affect me on my day-to-day basis. Yeah, so that's our news. That's our news.
We
have
had
more?
one more thing. Yeah, Ubisoft, small investor, pushes hard for company
that's
sale. So Ubisoft, man,
That's right.
you know, we don't cover Ubisoft enough, but I think it's just.
We talked about. I forgot about this one because we talked about it before we even podcasted. But Ubisoft really, they feel like they don't fit in. I feel like they don't fit in anymore.
Well, it's just. I think everyone just knows they just make L's, so it's just kind of like.
They just make bad games.
And it's been for like over a decade, so it's just kind of like, oh yeah, it's Ubisoft.
Well, they're still
Ubisoft.
riding that Assassin's Creed. I said it before. I'll say it right now. That Assassin's Creed came out, it was good. The first 3 or 4 of them, whenever Ezio or whatever the heck his name was, I haven't played those games since they came out. Those were good games, and they've been riding that high ever since. That's my take. everything else that have come out, there's been a few gems in there, I'm sure. I think Immortal Phoenix, man, I know too much about video games. I shouldn't be able to just like pull this stuff out. But Immortal Phoenix Rising was a game that came out a couple years ago that seemed to have got really good reviews, and people really did like that game. I think that's the only thing that they've done in the past couple of years that people have liked. Everything else have seemed to either been it was fine or it was not good. I heard Avatar was fine. It was a fine game. It wasn't a good game. It was fine.
I mean, it underperformed, just like Skull and Bones and
and
that's
what. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. None of them are good games. It's just like, is it playable? I'm really just, is it playable or not? Like, people were willing to play the game. I watched a couple of reviews of people saying like it's okay, it's here.
It's not great.
I don't know about Star Wars. Did you know anything about Star Wars Outlaws?
It wasn't good.
Okay.
It also underperformed. The company's stock took a huge crash after like all these 3 games came out this year, and all didn't do well.
Oh man, I remember reading something where a game came out that affected Ubisoft, or something came out that affected Ubisoft's stock because they didn't care about them anymore or something. I don't know. I can't talk about something I don't remember. Well, all I know is Ubisoft is a failing company, and they're trying to sell themselves. So if you have a lot of money and you want to, buy Ubisoft, do it. I don't know. I think it'd be cool. Actually, go buy Ubisoft and give it to David and I. I honestly believe we could do a good job.
I mean, I'll take it as a gift. I don't know. I wouldn't want to spend hard-earned money on a garbage company.
Well, we wouldn't spend any of the money. We would get the company gifted to us, and then we could just run it how we see fit. I do that. I work for a software company. I work in the development thing. I know how it works. Yeah, I don't know how art and anything works, but I feel like I could hire the right people to get the job done.
Yeah, it's just like
I'm probably way underestimating how hard it is to do, but like in theory, I understand the workflow of how to make a video game, and if I were able to like hire the correct people for that, I don't know. I feel like I could do something. I'm just talking out. I have no idea if I could actually do it or not. But I feel like I'm more likely to be able to understand it than somebody just random.
I mean, I feel like we're
better than an executive. I feel like I have to keep defending myself here because I don't want anybody to think that I can just like take Ubisoft and make an amazing game. Making a game's hard. I feel like I'd be better than an Ubisoft executive. How about that?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, we do better than any of the executives that run these companies, because the executives don't care about the games. All they care about is money. Yeah. And the money coming in is why these games suck so hard, because they're trying to do all these microtransactions. And they were, I don't know if you saw the Ubisoft Plus thing they were talking about before Star Wars Outlaws came out.
Are you going to talk about them
they were
saying
de-incentivizing buying the game? Because the game was so aggressively, horribly priced, and all the editions were so much more, like all the slightly upgraded edition was like $30 or $40 more than the basic edition.
Yeah,
and like you got everything if you signed up for like the maybe at the lowest Ubisoft Plus, but like the mid one, you got basically all the stuff that you would have had to pay like $200 for if you bought the game with its full.
Sure.
Collector's edition with all the bells and whistles and stuff with it. Like they were basically de-incentivizing buying the game by trying to get on their Ubisoft Plus thing, which apparently didn't work. Because
one of the executives,
it worked. They definitely de-incentivized people buying the game.
Nobody bought it. I will say one of the executives, I don't know which one or what their name was. I'm sure I could find it, but one of them said gamers or people have to get used to not owning their games.
Yeah,
I don't know why you'd say that. I don't know why you'd think that was a good idea to say.
Yeah, Ubisoft.
I feel like that is just like top to bottom a stupid thing to say, whether you're trying to make money or not. I feel like don't tell people that they have to go spend, X amount of money to buy or play a game and you don't own it. People want to own their stuff. I don't understand why executives still think like subscription models are the way to go. Yes, subscription models make more money. I know that because I work with a company that does that. But what people don't want to pay a subscription. They want to own their stuff.
Subscription models also are notoriously hard to do. Look at all the streaming TV services. They can't they're not making any money, so they're outsourcing all their stuff to
100%.
other TV's channels so they can make money. Like
Yeah,
a lot of the Star Trek movies aren't on Paramount Plus anymore because I think they licensed them to HBO, or at least that's how it was. Like whenever I was asking Brian Brian's HBO was off, I was asking, hey, let's watch the Star Trek movie, and I'm on Paramount Plus. We both have Paramount Plus. And
well, we don't share HBO
I
accounts.
didn't say we did. I just said we both have Paramount Plus. Well, Brian's HBO was off. We decided to look at Star Trek, and it wasn't on Paramount Plus. It happened to be on HBO, and his HBO was off at the time. So I have them all. I have them on physical media. I was trying to get Brian to watch it, but his HBO was off, and it wasn't on Paramount Plus, which we both have. So, which is bizarre that we know
They're trying to make
Paramount makes Star Trek, but you can't even watch it on the platform that it's because they licensed to someone else to on their. It is a losing proposition. It feels like all these like subscription models. For
It's just going to turn
TV
into cable
shows.
again. I think someday it's just going to turn into cable.
And all these people trying to do them for games doesn't make sense because Microsoft keeps firing people because their subscription model isn't making them enough money.
Yeah, games are a little bit more complicated to do a subscription model. I think for subscription services that show entertainment, TV shows, movies, documentaries, whatever, I think at some point it'll just kind of turn into a bulk thing. I don't know if video game companies will play nice enough to all work with one another to be under one subscription model. And even if they were, it'd probably be too much money for people anyway.
Oh, Steam.
So
I mean, it's not. It's just you can.
yeah, but Steam, you don't.
just
There's
sell
not
your
subscription.
games. Yeah, you just sell your.
I'm
games
saying if there's
on
a
Steam.
subscription for all video games like there is for cable,
Well,
I
there
don't know if that would happen.
There shouldn't be. I don't.
I don't think that. I don't think
like
all the
them.
video games companies would play nice with one. Like Xbox would want more money than Sony, and then that would be a fight for 15 years. So
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's just the subscription model thing just doesn't make a lot of sense. I just don't think it works, and all these companies are keep pushing for it. And I'm just like,
Yeah. I like owning my stuff. I mean, if it's something that like I'm just playing, I'll download like the digital game of it. But if it's something I generally will enjoy, I like to have a copy of it. I don't know. I'm not trying to collect things, but like things I generally like and I think are a 10 out of 10, I want a physical copy of.
yeah, I like to be able to.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you like something, I think it's okay to own it.
Yeah,
That's a hot. I don't know if that's a hot take nowadays.
to Ubisoft it is, but I mean Ubisoft. But if Ubisoft sells, they're not going to own their own games either. So
Damn
they're
right.
gonna have to be comfortable not owning all the games they made. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it's just
that's our
kind
so
of
video games.
insane. You know, it's just sad we don't have more good news. I guess the Valve news was kind of good. You know,
I
they're
can
hard on
have some.
shooters.
I have good news. I can end us on a high note.
Oh yeah, do it.
Ghost of Tsushima is one of my favorite games of all time, and they just announced a sequel to it. It takes place a couple hundred years after Ghost, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. It also has a female-led character, I believe. I'm fine with it being a female character as long as the female character doesn't hit those check boxes that you and I talk about.
Oh yeah.
But if she's a cool character like Samus or always go to Lara Croft or something like that, but I got no problem with it.
Eve from Stellar Blade.
Yeah, that's fine too. I mean, it won't look like that, but it's
Aw.
fine. She was a fine character as long as you
She's-
don't put them in these just make them needlessly powerful and like perfect for no reason, and it won't be a problem like Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Not going to be a problem. So I'm looking forward to that game, and I can't wait to play it. That's now my number one game I'm most anticipated for until Santa Monica Studios announces the next game of or God
Game
of
of
War.
War. Game of War.
I'm combining Game of Thrones with God of War. They should bring Kratos into Game of Thrones or
Oh.
House of the Dragon. That'd be dope. Oh my gosh, can you imagine if Kratos was fighting the dragons in House of the Dragon? That'd be dope. I'm on board with that.
I don't know. Like, I just hope the next God of War game isn't an Atreus-focused game because that killed me in Ragnarok having to play as Atreus so much. It was.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. I don't know. Santa Monica, at least for the past 10 years or so, have done a great job. So I like them.
Yeah.
I'm not a Sony fanboy either. I didn't start playing PlayStation games until God of War came out. That's the reason why I got a PlayStation.
God of War.
Never had a PlayStation prior to that.
And now we don't even need them because they're both coming to.
Yeah, now you
PC,
don't need
yes.
them anymore.
Yeah, don't even need a PlayStation anymore. I'm kind of looking forward to that future, not needing a PlayStation with all their stuff coming. They finally realized if they sell their game on PC, they can make more money on the game.
I know,
Wow,
crazy, crazy thought.
I've been saying this for like over a decade.
Put everybody on a PC so we can all play those early access survival games together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because those ones don't go to console, and those are the fun janky games on Steam are the fun ones that you want to play with your friends. You don't want to like load up Helldivers again. Like, ugh, who wants to do that? Go play the weird janky survival game that you have to hit a tree 47 times to get one piece of one log.
Or Raft, where you just have to collect trash out of the ocean.
Yeah, is Raft on console? Don't know the answer to that. I don't play on console enough to know really what's on console versus what's not. But I know those janky early access survival games on Steam are definitely not on console.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I don't follow. I haven't played Raft in ages, and I play on PC more than console. I only play games exclusive to console, like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I mean, it'll be on PC eventually,
Yeah.
and Stellar Blade, which that'll be on PC eventually, which I'm excited for because they've announced the Nier Automata crossover DLC,
Yeah, the crossover. Yeah.
which will be interesting.
Which is cool because the guy that made Stellar Blade was a huge Nier
Nier fan.
fan,
Yeah,
and
so
he wanted to incorporate it somehow. So now that he's actually he's like getting a dream
yeah,
with
that's
Stellar
awesome.
Blade. That's
So-
like this is like the best case scenario for him. So I'm happy for him because he made a good game.
So I'm sure once it comes to PC, it'll probably all be all in one. Like it'll probably be like Horizon, where all the game
just like
and
full.
the DLC it'll be a single package. So I'll
Yeah.
definitely be getting Stellar Blade again when it comes to PC because Stellar Blade was fantastic.
Hey,
And
we ended with two. We ended with two good things.
a good thing.
Two
So we
good
got-
things. Email David at
Okay.
synthaholics at yahoo.com because that you should do that for the podcast and now also do this for this. I don't know. This turned into a podcast too. But yeah, do it both, David. And in closing, close us out, man.
All right. Well,
do it.
And until next time, hopefully we'll have some better news and less layoff news. But with Microsoft in this world, you can never be sure. So until next time, I've been Dave.
I've been Brian this time. I might be different next time.
It could be. Could change. Anyway, until next time, guys. We'll see you.
Bye bye.